It's Doug Robinson, and you are now watching NGTV.
Welcome to the Conscious Party Show. We have a good friend of mine today who's been in the martial arts game like forever, brother Andrew Lynn. All right, so Andrew, what's the name of your, what do you call it, dojo?
Yes, we are the Ju-Jitsu Shotokan Karate Association. We teach a combination of karate mixed in with Sinukusu Jiu-Jitsu from Moses Powell. I started off in martial arts with my grandfather in Jamaica doing Kung Fu in 1967. I started training with Master Haji Talib Dawood from Bethesda Village in Antigua from 1970 until he passed away in 1999.
All right, so you have a, where's your location at?
We're currently teaching at 48th in Baltimore at the Calgary Center for Community and Culture.
All right.
In West Philadelphia.
All right, so that's here in Philadelphia. Now, you've been involved for years and a lot of tournaments. What are some of the things that you're bringing to the present? Hold on, let me stop. What are some of the things that you have in the plans as far as moving forward with martial arts?
One of my goals of staying in America and not going back to Antigua when I graduated from St. Louis University in 1984 was to establish a better program than the National Football League. That has failed because a lot of karate people, and the word karate means empty hands, so that includes Vita Shama, Taekwondo, Kung Fu, MMA fighting, Shotokan Karate, Shuru Karate, Shirete Karate, whatever karate there is an empty hand. Most of the guys do not want to form one league. One league has been formed for the Olympics. Karate will be in the Olympics in 1980. It's called worldwide it's called the World Karate Federation. In America, it's called the National Karate Federation.
Or you mean that karate is going to be in the future Olympics that's coming up?
Karate would have
2020, I think, is canceled. So
2020 Olympics will be in 2021 in
right.
July. I don't have the dates in front of me. But karate would have been already in the Olympics if it was not for COVID-19 in Tokyo, Japan.
All right. And what is some of the ways that COVID has affected the industry?
Well, we got reopened recently from October to mid-November. We had to close back down because in Philadelphia they've ordered all schools, academic schools, karate schools, dance schools, music schools to shut down. So we're currently shut down at this moment.
All right. So one of the things that we had talked about is a show that we were talking about producing here at NGTV. What are some of the parameters that you're thinking about?
We had formed a show, we never got off the ground completely, where we want to have all people worldwide of all different forms of martial arts, ages, cultures, and backgrounds doing kata. Kata is a form of the gymnastics routines of karate. And since the pandemic has hit, some tournaments have been done virtually. So right now we have students around the world, not necessarily my personal students, but other students of martial arts who are willing to Zoom a kata, let's say in Ghana, and then we can Zoom a kata in West Philadelphia, and they will both go online or on NGTV, and people would vote for the winner. And one of the reasons why we want the general public to vote for the winner is because one of the reasons why karate is not as big as the NFL is because there's a lot of politics and racism in karate.
All right. Do you want to go a little bit further into that? Some of the obstacles that are created by the politics or the
yes.
racism?
Well, let's take my instructor, Master Haji Talib Dawood. When I went to the Pan American Karate Championships in 1978. People kept asking me, who trained you? I kept telling them I was trained by Master Haji Dalib, but they kept asking, well, who's your Japanese sensei or Japanese instructor? I said, I don't have a Japanese instructor. My instructor is a black Muslim man.
Mhm.
They go, yeah, but who trained him? I said, that's unimportant. You're asking me who trained me, and I've been trained by a black Muslim. I have not been trained by Mr. Okazaki or Mr. Nishiyama. Now, do I know them? Have I ever trained with them? Yes, I've trained with all of them. I've trained with a lot of different people at events.
Mhm.
But the reason why I keep bringing up Haji Talib was because I do not want people to keep on discrediting Master Haji Talib because he's black and Muslim.
Okay, all right. So, how can people connect with you if they're interested in perhaps participating in the tournament, or if they're interested in learning online, or if they're local and they're interested in coming out?
Well, I'm trying to get some programs run or podcasts on NGTV, and I think that would solve some of the things virtually for right now. But one of the reasons why I did not want to go into the Zoom so much is because I can't correct people.
Okay.
And I believe in quality and not quantity. And so, for example, at our karate school, we produce no more than 1 or 2 black belts a year because we're still using the old school system. And we made it harder because street fighting is become harder. So we added on Ju-Jitsu with the karate. So a lot of people come to our school and figure it's just a karate school and you can go and get a few lessons and get a belt. And we're like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
If somebody chokes you and you can't come out of it, that's the result of your test. You fail. Somebody chokes you, don't come out, you fail. There's no,
Yeah, I do remember a few years ago in the West Philadelphia area, there was like some incidents of violence against women, and I remember you had a special program at that time for self-defense for women. Do you still have that program?
No, unfortunately, a lot of women are brainwashed into the karate movies. And we had some women who came in and they trained for the summer. And they got the basic ideas of self-defense and basic ideas of karate. And I tried to explain to them that they don't have enough speed to hit the streets. And they were like, well, we know enough. I'm like, no, you don't. You see, you might know a technique, but you're not fast with it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And when somebody attacks you on the street as a female, you have to be faster than the bigger person. This is not like the Karate Kid, you wax on, you wax off, and then the next day you start fighting people, you're beating people off the motorbikes and stuff like that. That is fictitious. Now, a lady can beat a guy, but she has to have one of these elements. She either has to be stronger than the guy, tougher than the guy, or faster than the guy. Since most women are smaller than men, we concentrate on getting them faster than the guy.
And I understand that, like from an athlete's perspective, to be able fast sometimes means being able to think. Okay, that you've trained enough where it's like a second nature and you're ready for this. Now, and I'm sure in the street it's a lot different than somebody on the field and they're speeding up their activities. So when you're talking life and death here, okay, speed is really important.
What I try to explain to most people, if you can get 2 years training in and get to around a green belt, you don't have to get a black belt. You're good to go to hit the streets because you have the basic fundamentals of street fighting. It's space. If you're a very fast boxer, I can't block you from really in close, so I'd have to move back in order to block you. So as a fighter, as a street fighter, it's almost all of us are almost always in the smaller person, as in myself being smaller fighting against a larger person. So we have to understand the space and the geometrics of creating space to not get hit by the speed and then to go back in to create enough speed to hit the other person we're fighting.
Okay, so I want to thank you for coming in, definitely sharing knowledge and sharing, and we're looking forward to working with you here at NGTV, basically to create like a national format for martial arts. Okay, so Andrew,
It's been a pleasure. Good to see you after all these years again.
Okay.
Thank you very much.